Hey, what's up, everybody? Francis here, and I'm ready to show you guys some exercises from downward facing dog. You're going to strengthen the hip. If you are strong already and you want to make sure you're covering your bases as far as range of motion, medial rotation, lateral rotation, working hip flexion and extension, this is a way what we're going to use downward dog to get you nice and strong and just keep you flowing and going. Okay, here we go. So we're going to start first by showing the difference between down dog split and three-legged dog. So from plank pose, that's going to be your distance for your down dog between your hands and your feet. You're going to come into downward facing dog, and first thing is to figure out how to differentiate between down dog split and three-legged dog. So if you keep your back leg parallel, toes facing down, and lift, your leg is parallel, and as you lift that leg back, you're going to be working all three portions of your hamstrings relatively equally. The minute you laterally rotate, it's going to be different. You'll also be able to rotate your hip facing out a little bit more and bring the leg even higher. So if you are going for that parallel leg variation, there are benefits from doing that parallel leg, even though the leg's not as high. So equal strengthening for your medial and lateral hamstrings, right, as you go parallel leg. So we're going to just do parallel leg lift and then come back down. Same thing second side. Parallel leg lift and come back down. And again, it won't feel as gratifying as the bigger version, which we'll do in a second. We're going to come up and then we lift and lift and lift and lift. Let's do 4 more and 3 and 2 and 1. Come back to center. Other side and lift and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And that's three-legged dog. Now we're going to move into down dog split. So what we do here is, instead of staying parallel, I'm going to point the toes here. We'll laterally rotate the thigh bone in the hip socket and also open the hips up to the side, which makes it so you can lift your leg even higher. So down dog split, a little different than the parallel version, and then we'll come back down. Same thing, second side. Laterally rotate the thigh bone in the hip socket, open the hips up to the side. So instead of focusing on the hamstrings, we get a little more gluteus medius on the upper leg side and also the lower leg side as well. As we do that rotation, right, strengthening gluteus medius, which is a little more connected to your balance, which is a good thing to keep strong as well. Okay, so hip extension, but laterally rotated is going to be a little different. And now let's move on from here. We'll come from our down dog split, and we're going to bring that back leg forward toward the hands. We'll hover above the ground and stay parallel as you bring that leg forward. And then back and up and open the hips, forward and parallel. Pull the belly in as you come forward here. All right, so now we're working a little bit of hip extension, a little lateral rotation involved there. While we do that, and hip flexion, right, again, working to strengthen the hips a little more vigorously. Now let's move on from here. Let's actually do the second side before we move on. So laterally rotated as you lift, parallel, knee forward, inhale as you open, exhale, come forward. Nice, inhale, exhale, 1 more, here we go. Exhale. Next variation from our down dog split. Instead of coming forward and parallel, I'll bring my foot across, and I'm a little bit laterally rotated as I bring my knee forward. Now, this might be kind of a way you might come into pigeon. We're not going to come into pigeon right now, but I want you to hover. I'm going to call this floating pigeon. Okay, so lifting up, and then float your pigeon. And lift it up, and float your pigeon. Lift it up, and float. Right? So it's rotated. You're rotating externally as we come forward. Let's do second side. Lift up, open, and float your pigeon. Lift up, open, and float. 2 more, and float. 1 more, and float. Okay, we have 1 left to go. Right? So what you see that we're doing is we're systematically moving the thigh bone in the hip socket in a little bit of a different variations as we come in and out of this down dog split, okay? So the last one we'll do here is a little bit different. So far we've come in parallel with that back knee coming forward. We've laterally rotated into our floating pigeon. Right, this next one I think is kind of silly, funny. You can think of it as we rotate differently, you're going to bring your knee to the outside, your knee to the outside of your elbow, right? So it's moving the leg away from the midline rather than crossing the midline, and it works the muscles a little bit differently that cross the hip. Silly way to remember this is like doggy fire hydrant, bringing that knee up and out to the side. Let's do one more of those, but still strengthening the muscles that cross the hip. Let's get ready for the second side. From our down dog, lift up, out, and open, and then knee to the outside. Up, out, and open, knee to the outside of your elbow. 2 more times, just like that. 1 more. All right, so we're going to combine all 3 and a little bit of just kind of variation, okay? So let's do this. We'll start from our plank. Find your space, down dog. So let's start with parallel leg and down. Parallel leg and down. Again, parallel leg and down. 1 more parallel leg and down. Now, down dog split. We go open. Let's bring the knee into the center. Same leg this time, open. Float your pigeon and open. Doggy fire hydrant out to the side. 1 more like that. Lift, open. Parallel. Lift, open. Cross it over, pigeon. Lift, open. Out to the side. Ready for the second side. Lift, open. Parallel. So 2 rounds all together of these ones. Open. Pigeon floating. And open. Out to the side. Again, here we go. Lift it open. Parallel right to the center. Lift it open. Float your pigeon. Lift it open. And out to the side. Let's go down dog. And then let's go extended child's pose. Knees wide, feet together. Let the body release forward. Take a full breath right there. Let's make a tower of fists and rest your forehead on the fists. Again, take a full breath right here. Nice full exhale. And a full breath in. And nice full exhale. Okay, so there you have it, guys. A couple of moves to work through your hips. It's a little more vigorous, but working lateral rotation, medial rotation, hip extension, and hip flexion. So I hope that's helpful in your strengthening journey. Please, if you enjoyed this, make sure you hit subscribe. You can receive more videos as they come out, and share with a friend if that would be helpful for them too. Have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.